Today on our 2018 Jayco North Point camper, you're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the Solera 8-foot slider slide topper in black. Part number LCV 0001-68106. This is also available in white. This is what our slide topper looks like when it's installed. As you can see, we have our slide out, or completely extended out, and our slide topper covers that top section of our slide out. What that's going to do, it's going to keep leaves, dirt, and debris from getting inside and sitting in there. Because what that's going to do, if you get leaves and stuff and everything sitting inside there, if you don't clean it off, it's going to create mold, a lot of dirt. And what happens is, when you create that mold, this part of the slide out is going to slide in. When it goes in, now you have mold inside the camper. We don't want that. We put our canopy or our slide out topper on it. It's going to cover that. It's going to keep all that dirt and debris out, as well as the leaves, and it's going to keep the water and rain out. It's going to take the rain and it's going to run it right off the side of the camper. Now, to measure for a slide out topper, for different size slide outs, what you're going to do is you're going to measure from this outer edge to the opposite side outer edge. The reason we want to measure this outside edge, and if you come over here, you'll notice that the box of our slide out is actually in farther than our outer edge. When we measure this outside edge, we want our canopy to come outside, out to this edge. If you look up, our canopy actually overhangs our box, which is what we want it to do. Because we want it to completely cover our box that slides into the inside of the RV or camper. This is our 8-foot Solera slide out topper. It's going to be constructed of a durable vinyl. It's going to come with all the hardware we get installed. All of our hardware is going to be a black powder coat finish. It's going to resist any rust or corrosion. What's going to set the Solera slide topper apart from others is it's going to allow you to slide out up to 50 inches, which is 8 inches more coverage. We have many different size slide toppers to choose from. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let me show you how easy it is to get installed. This is what our kit's going to look like when we get it. Now, one thing we don't see on the table is you're going to have another one of these brackets, another one of these end caps, and you're going to have another set of hardware just like this. I've already installed one of these on the camper. I'm going to show you how to install this one in just a minute. A couple things I want to go over. One, this rail right here is going to come in your kit. A lot of the newer campers may have these installed already, so you may not need to install this. Our camper has it installed, so we're not going to be using this. The hardware that comes in a bag like this, you're going to see several square head screws, self-tapping screws. That hardware is for this trim piece. We're not going to be needing those either. These are rails that are going to go at the end of your canopy. Once we get these mounted, that rail is going to slide inside of this, and then we'll bolt it to that. You're going to get your hardware to mount this to the outside wall of your slider. This cap, once this rail is in, will slide on, and you'll see a little groove in it. We'll slide on like that, and we'll put a self-tapping screw in there, and that'll hold it onto our canopy end rail. A couple self-tapping screws to hold this rail inside of here, and you'll have 2 black screws for each canopy that once you get the canopy in, you'll go about 1 inch in on the canopy, and you'll drive this down through the bead and through the rail, and that's going to keep your canopy from shifting back and forth. Next thing I want to show you is this does not come in your kit. You're going to have to pick up some butyl tape. And what it does, we put it on and it seals the holes where your screw holes are going to be. You can find that on our website using part number 344-27034-1410-1. This side here is going to mount to the wall, or the outside wall on our camper. So we're going to be putting our butyl tape on this side. If you can see how it's angled. This is what butyl tape looks like, and it's basically just a sealer. I'm going to start here at the bottom. It really doesn't matter. We're just wanting to cover the screw holes. Kind of press it in place. Go ahead and peel that off, and then I'll put another piece right there like that. And then we can trim off any excess later. What we're going to do, you're going to have 5 screws, square head, self-tapping. We're going to use those to install this. On your slide out, you're going to have a trim piece that goes around the outside, and that's this piece right here. This inside here is actually your box that slides into your camper or RV. This piece overhangs so it seals that box in. Problem is when we roll this out, that box is exposed on the top side. So we're going to put our canopy on that so it'll cover that. To put this bracket on, we want to go on the inside corner of this channel right here on the top. So right in here. So we're going to take this edge and we're going to go up against that and then go over as far as we can. Not all campers have this corner piece here. I can only go over to that, so push it on like that. The tape will hold it in place while we put our screws in. Then you want to make sure that you're level with it because we're going to be sliding that bar inside of here. Then you're going to repeat that same thing on the other side. Now we're going to put in our bar. That's going to slide in this end bracket. What I suggest is roll out your canopy just a little bit. The hole in the bottom of your bar and the hole in the bottom of that bracket, you want to line them up. Your cap is going to have a groove in it. We want that to go in line with our screw hole. And we're going to take our large self-tapping Phillips head screw, and that will hold that in place. And we're not going to put the other side on just yet. Right here on our rail, this is the rail we're going to be sliding our canopy in. On this corner, what we want to do is to keep from ripping our canopy. They tell you to you can take a screwdriver and bend the two ends apart. What I like to do, if you take a pair of needle nose pliers and kind of roll this outside corner up just a little. We'll do the same thing on the bottom, just like that. What that's going to do, it creates kind of a tunnel almost, a lead, so that when you're sliding your canopy in, it doesn't get caught on the corner of the rail. Now I'm going to take a little bit of lubricant to help my canopy slide in this rail a little bit easier, and we're going to spray it right inside that channel. And we're not going to have to go all the way down. Now with an extra set of hands, we're going to take the bead on our canopy and we're going to slide it into our track. We're going to take the bar and we're going to slide it into this bracket. Now we're going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to line up our screw holes with our bracket. We'll slide it in. Now, in order to put this screw in, since we're against the wall, it's kind of at an angle, we're going to have to slide out a little bit. Before we do that, you want to make sure that this rod is inside and it's inside this end bracket. Also, there's a pin on each side that we're going to have to remove. These are put in before they're transported. Make sure that this rod is through this end bracket. If you don't, this thing's going to spin and it's going to loosen the spring inside and it's going to cause a whole bunch of trouble. And make sure it's in this bracket that's mounted to the wall. You're going to grab your canopy, kind of rotate it like that, and it'll loosen it. And we'll slide it out like that. Then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Next, we want to make sure our canopy is lined up side to side before we put these two screws in. We're going to take a 5/16 socket, our self-tapping screw. We're going to go right through that hole, right through the bar. Same thing here. Then we're going to go down to the other end and do the same thing down there. Next, we're going to take the small self-tapping screw, 1/4 inch socket, where our canopy goes in that track or in that rail. We're going to go from the edge over about 1 inch. We're going to go right through that track, right through the bead in the canopy. Just like that. That's going to keep our canopy from sliding inside the rail. That'll do it for a look at an installation on the Solera 8-foot slider slide topper in black, part number LCV 000168106 on our 2018 Jayco North Point camper.